the IPREP kicked off under his tenure. He started IPREP and ensured that they got funding and they kicked off. Of course, you know that the Borno Road also continued under his administration. And remember that under his administration, Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, at least their own complex in GRA in Port Harcourt. Not much could be said about him in terms of East-West Road, even though I know that the contractor got additional funding under Buhari's administration, but I don't think we saw much of improvement East-West Road.
Now, some Port Harcourt residents also expressed mixed thought about the legacies of former President Buhari.
In his regime, he was a good president. I think even though today things are like this, but as at when he was alive, he was president, he was presiding on behalf of Nigeria as a president. At least things were not hard as it is today.
I was calling him 50% because of his personal character.
All the times when he ruled, no good thing come out for Nigeria now. When he was a military administrator, he bring Operation Feed Yourself. He later becomes civilian president. The worst. Rice bag that we normally buy for 7,000 and rise up to 80,000, 70,000. It caused the problem that Tinubu is now carrying on.
Because of everything now is very high. You can't compare to the time that he was ruling. That is one thing I can comment about him.
Well, in another development, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has called on host communities of the Trans-Niger Pipeline to take ownership of the national assets situated in their areas or work collectively to safeguard them. Represented by Navy Captain Lassie Audi Ozoveye at a monthly stakeholders engagement hosted by Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited, PINL, in Port Harcourt, General Musa warned that the consequences of oil bunkering and pipeline vandalism are most deeply felt by the communities themselves. He also praised PINL for its sustained effort in pipeline security. On the spot, the General Manager, Community and Stakeholder Relations for PINL, Dr. Abbas Meze, said the success recorded by PINL in protecting the Trans-Niger Pipeline is as a result of the synergy with host communities' regular operational strategy and commitment.
With a firm resolve to stop the bleeding of our national economy by unrelenting saboteurs, your mandate is now broadened to include all oil and gas assets, including gas pipelines within the NNPC classified Eastern Corridor. We call on you to stand even stronger together, step up your commitment, and carry out this broader responsibility with renewed strength and unity for the benefit of our dear nation.
Meza said PINL's model grounded in timely salary payments, safety of personnel and swift dispute resolution has helped reduce downtime and increase stakeholder trust, adding that the sustainable development of host communities remain central to its mission.
In line with our core mission of securing the Eastern Corridor pipelines, we have recorded near zero incidents in the past 1 month. These achievements are rooted in the consistent application of proven strategies, ensuring the safety of our surveillance personnel, timely salary payments, and rapid community dispute resolutions, all contributing to reduced downtime and increased trust.
Now, some stakeholders, including the chairman of the Council of Ogoni Traditional Rulers, Timothy Baridam, Ada Ekpeyelebo of the Ekpeye Kingdom, Dr. Patricia Obonaya, chairman of the Ijo Youth Council Eastern Zone, Datolu Sokobo, applauded PINL's role in reducing pipeline infractions, but urged the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, and other stakeholders to go further in addressing the need of people living in oil-producing areas.
With a firm resolve to stop the bleeding of our national economy by unrelenting saboteurs, your mandate is now broadened to include all oil and gas assets, including gas pipelines within the NNPC classified Eastern Corridor. We call on you to stand even stronger together, step up your commitment, and carry out this broader responsibility with renewed strength and unity for the benefit of our dear nation.
Apologies for that mix-up.
The hunger of our land is a direct result of pollution, environmental degradation, and it's a matter that weighs heavily on our hearts. Once fertile soil which we have has changed to danger because of this great destruction of our land by the IOC.
I just want to suffice it by saying, Pipeline Infrastructure Limited, I see that your modus operandi is different from other oil-related companies. So please, in your management meeting, try and profile solution. Help us because you are not directly the problems.
NNPC is supposed to be the frontliners to have community engagement, because if you go across most of our coastal areas, you will see floating filling stations. And these floating filling stations are not functional.
Coming up next, London Mayor speaks to Nigeria Info FM in his historic visit to Africa. Stay with us.
We, the members of Eche Progressive Assembly, after a
Welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The Bile Council of Chiefs in the Degema local government area of River State has again accused the Amayanabo of Torosarama Piri, known as Elim Kalabari Asari Dokubo, of unlawfully encroaching into their territory with the aid of his local security services, known as Amama soldiers. Addressing newsmen in Port Harcourt, the spokesperson of the Bile Council of Chiefs, Boma Renadapa, said the Amama soldiers allegedly invaded one of their communities known as the Dabira on July 12th, threatening residents and asking them to leave the community. Ms. Arena Dapa said residents were informed that the invasion was a preparation for Asare Dokubo to allegedly fulfill his threat of attacking the Bile Kingdom and acquiring their territories forcefully.
Credible information available to us strongly indicate that Alhaji Asare Dokubo has concluded plans to launch a full-scale attack on several Bile communities in the coming days, with this objective of sacking indigenous people from their ancestral land to enable forceful territorial expansion. We have it on good record that His Royal Highness Alhaji Asare Dokubo and his Amama group has been unlawfully recruiting many young people and gathering lethal weapons, and indeed used the IYC to violently attacked Bile Kingdom about 25 years ago, crisis that claimed many lives.
The Bile Council of Chiefs spokesman, who urged relevant authorities, especially the federal government, to investigate the allegation, insisted that they are peaceful people but will not cede any of their communities in any guise.
We call on the federal government of Nigeria to initiate a thorough and impartial investigation to the recent incident and to take necessary steps to prevent a further deterioration of peace in the area. We urge the Rivers State government and the DSS to reaffirm their commitment to justice, fairness, protection of all communities, regardless of political or traditional affiliation. We equally extend a solemn appeal to the Kalabari people, invoking their sense of ancestral responsibility and urging them to call their son, His Royal Highness Alhaji, but to order.
Reacting to the allegations, Asare Dokubo, through the palace spokesman of Dorosara Mapiri, Christopher Braid, described the claims as unfounded and misleading. He said Asare has no intention of expanding into Bile territories, but that rather Bile people have left their well-known boundary with the Kalabari people at the Toma and Obutoru rivers to invade and occupy Kalabari territories. He called on the security agencies to thoroughly investigate the matter and uncover the truth. Moving on, former chairman of the Nigeria Civil Service Union in Rivers State, Opoyibo Lily West, is asking the suspended governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, to stop the contributory pension scheme for civil servants immediately he is reinstated. Lily West made this known in an interview with our correspondent. He said the union had resisted the move by the previous government to implement the scheme without addressing the concerns of workers.
In their appointment letter, there was nothing like along the line they are going to change the policy about their pension and gratuity. It was not there. It's a pensionable job we are giving to you, and that is a defined pension scheme. How can we change the goalposts at the middle of the game? We have already interfaced with him and we told him that, see, this policy is not good for our people. Repeal it. It's a law, but you can repeal it. In Akwa Ibom State, the present Senate president, when he was a governor in Akwa Ibom, he repealed it and asked that the people money should be refunded. I'm going to remind him again about this particular scheme and plead with him to help us to jettison it until when the new employment plus staff comes in, they can now start it on.
The Labour leader also called on the leadership of the Labour Union, agreeing with the sole administrators to start the implementation of the new scheme.
Yes, first let me start by saying that it was not accepted by Labour leaders. It was accepted by Alex Ogwanwo, that is the NSC chairman. The entire Labour leaders are against these draconic policies, against our workers. We resisted it before, we are going to resist it. Reasons as that contributory pension scheme has never worked in anywhere in this state, in this country. I only mentioned about Jigawa State and Kano. That was the only area where it was working. But as we speak, no state contributory pension scheme is working. He accepted himself as NSC chairman, not on behalf of the workers in this particular case.
In other news, the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, has begun a landmark trade mission to Africa, starting with Lagos. This marks the first ever visit by a sitting London mayor to the continent. Khan is leading a 27-member business delegation focused on strengthening UK-Africa trade, tech collaboration, and cultural exchange. Speaking exclusively to Nigeria Info at the John Randall Center for Yoruba Culture and History, the mayor headlined a key event titled Bridging Borders: How London and Lagos Can Shape the Future of Global Tech.
So I'm here to explain to your listeners why London's a place to be, because of not just our great tech sector, not just because of our great cultural sector, creativity, higher education, but also we have more than 150,000 Londoners, and they're Londoners, by the way, of Nigerian origin. We have Little Lagos in Peckham in South London. I could go on. So, look, I'm loving Lagos. It's great.
At the event, he praised tech growth in Lagos, calling it a key player in shaping global innovation and entrepreneurship.
I know that Lagos is the number one tech city in Africa, while London is the number one tech city in Europe. So it's top of the league in Europe, top of the league in Africa, having a partnership.
On the international scene, a report says thousands of Afghans have moved to the UK under a secret scheme that was set up after a British official unknowingly leaked their data. In February 2022, the personal details of nearly 19,000 people who had applied to move to the UK after the Taliban seized power in Afghanistan were leaked. The previous government learned of the breach in August 2023 when some of the details appeared on Facebook. A new resettlement scheme for those on the leaked list was set up 9 months later and has seen 4,500 Afghans arrive in the UK so far. On the news this morning, you heard work will resume nationwide this morning after the public holiday for former President Buhari's burial on Tuesday. Mixed reactions are trailing former President Buhari's legacy in the Niger Delta. Governor Fubara has been urged to scrap the contributory pension scheme. London Mayor spoke to Nigeria Info FM in his historic visit to Africa. On the foreign scene, thousands of Afghans were moved to the UK in a secret scheme after a data breach. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.